Welcome, kiddos. We are continuing on in our one-point perspective with triangles, circles, and we're even going to show you how to punch holes in them. So today, not only are you going to need a pencil, eraser, and ruler, you're going to need some sort of object that has small circles and big circles. So if you don't have a small cup or something like that, you could use quarters and dimes and pennies. You just need big circles and small circles. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. It might be a little muffled today because I am wearing my mask because I have students in class. Alright, so horizon line start off, and we're going to do it in the middle. Now for future projects we may slide it up and down and we might move the dot, but for today, right smack dab in the middle. Vanishing point. So I'm going to start off with a huge circle. You probably want something a little smaller than that. I'm going to put it right up to the edge. Trace it. Now if you want to try to hand draw or free draw your circles, you're welcome to. So here's the key on these. You want the edge of the ruler to hit the edge of the circle. Don't come inside the circle or it will look like an ice cream cone or a microphone. We want it to look like a beam of light coming out of a huge flashlight, or like when they put the bat signal out. So I'm going to make sure it's right up on the edge. Draw lightly. Same thing over here. Right up on the edge. There you go. Now, the second part, we need a smaller circle. Alright, so you could use, if you use a quarter out here, you'd use a dime down here. Slide this in till, imagine these are walls, and imagine you want them to stop when they hit the walls. So I'm going to make sure I got this lined up right. See if I can hold it better so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright. Alright, boom. So now it looks like a big roll of toilet paper or paper towels or whatever. Once you get there, just like usual, you're going to erase what you don't need. And this time I'm going to make a smaller one. Right. And I'm going to use the inside for my second hole. Probably need something really smaller, and if I had it, but I do not carry change around anymore. Everything's plastic. There you go. I've got this little cupola ECU, right? 3D printed. We're going to slide this down and make a short one. Go. Erase what you don't need. And remember, if the horizon line's inside there, you need to get rid of it because it's not part of our cylinder. Do one more down here, and I'm even going to let this one go off the page. How about them apples? This is to let you know that, hey, sometimes it's okay to have stuff that goes off your page. Remember, I want it to hit the outside of the circle, not the inside. Same thing over here. And I'm going to use this one to make it go even further than last time. Go. Erase what you don't need. Cool. So now I'm going to show you how to punch a hole in the front and on the side. It's a little harder than rectangles. So I'm going to use circle. So this is all about shading, right? So this curves this way, right? So this one's the opposite. So when I shade, I'm going to shade like that. If you remember the spheres we did, those lines were curved, same thing. So if my light source is way over here and it's coming at the side, a little bit top, a little bit side, you don't have to go crazy with the shading over here. I'm starting off the wrong way. Remind myself to shade the other way. Get the idea? And really, I want it to go down that way, so I should probably be bringing it down here. Cool. Alright, so on the side, if I do one, I need to follow that contour, right? So I could cheat, right? Since it's not too far from the edge, I can use the same size circle. And you're going to connect that to the vanishing point. Since I know my hole's not going to go any further than this, no need to go any further. Now, since this one's closer to this end, I'm going to use this, right? Make sure I'm doing this right. And voila. Right, so this could be a window into the capsule or whatever. Now there's multiple ways you can do an interior on this one. I'm gonna kind of wing this, right? So if yours looks a little different, it's okay. Might help you if I start with a line going in, right? So it's gonna go to the vanishing point. And I'm gonna cut in. I guess I should use the ruler, right? And then I'm gonna copy that circle, right? So I could cheat again. Where's my circle? Oh yeah, right here. Could use this. And there is my interior, right? So as far as if I want this to be shaded, if it's that dark down here, I'm kind of winging it on this one. I don't think I've really done too many interiors of tubes. Now here's something I didn't think about. this wall back here is going to exist. All right? So to make it legit, I need to trace that here and here. Nope, not there. I know I'm throwing a lot at you right here. But this back wall is going to be the most dark, right? Since this is flat, I was not thinking about it. This is the bottom circle of my tube. This is going to be one shade all the way across. Kind of like on the last one, don't worry too much about the shading on this one. Worry more about getting the concept. See how that works? Pretty decent. I'm gonna do a couple more holes here, and I'm gonna wing it. All right, so if you don't have circles, remember you hover over, and it's okay if it doesn't look perfect. The key ingredient though is to echo this when you're shading. All right, so I'm going to echo. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. Cross hatching. If you need to erase some, you can always pull it a little bit lighter. So if I want another hole on the side, just as close to this end. I'm gonna do a small one this time. Connect it to the vanishing point. You don't have to use a lot of cylinders in your big projects, because I know they're a little more difficult, but I wanted to give you the tools in case you do want to try it. So I could use the circle here for the edge, or I could just kind of wing it. You can see the difference between winging it and having something to trace. Not too shabby. All right. Now, just like last time, all right, so I won't be able to see the end wall there, because this side will not show up inside here. So I kind of lucked out there. As far as making it come in, you could just pop in a little bit, echo that curve. I need a sharper pencil because I'm getting messy. There we go. Get a much finer line. This line though does need to line up with the vanishing point. Reinforce this exterior line. And this guy. So if you wanted to, since this is so dark, you really could just pretend that it's really dark in there and shade the whole area and let you get off easy on this one. Cool. Alright, so your job is to make another hole here and another hole there. We did not shade the outside, right? So how do we do that? If the light is coming down and hitting these front surfaces and the tops of this, just like in those spheres, the bottom is going to be the darkest and it's going to lighten up as it goes. So if I'm going to do light today. Little cross-hatching action. Voila. Same thing here. Darker at the bottom. It's gonna come out a little bit from the bottom. There's more of a swirling action on this one with a little bit of cross hatching. So, like I said, your job is to do that down here. Put a hole in the front, put a hole in the side. Attempt to do what I did. Shade it. Now, over here, we're going to do triangles. I'll do 2 more triangles, and you can do your triangle on the bottom. Triangles, I think, are easier. So, if you need to pause it, do this stuff, and then continue on, do you. So, I'm going to make a triangle. Here. And it does not have to be equilateral, fancy math term. As long as it's a triangle, 3 sides, that's all I care about. Now, depending on which way your triangle is pointed is how many sides you're going to see. So I take it to the edge and connect any point that I think I can. And it's going to be real slim, but I think I can connect this one too. Yep, it's going to be tiny. Alright, so just like we echoed the circular shape, or the rectangulars that were vertical and horizontal, we're going to echo the angle. So you could cheat and do the other side of the ruler. I'm just going to slide down, chop it off, and I'm going to copy this angle. It's going to be very little to show for this side. Erase what you don't need. Do another triangle. And you can make your triangles long and skinny or short and fat, I don't care. Connect the corners. Remember to draw lightly because you want to be able to erase easily. Cool. So, echo. Alright, so it's at this angle, slide it over, edge to edge. Same thing here. Keep this angle. Stop when it hits. Now we get rid of what we don't need. Don't forget to erase the horizon line inside of the form only. We want this to pop forward. Same thing here. So I'm going to show you how to put holes in these. You do another one by yourself down here. Alright, so the hole on this one, I didn't even really think about doing it on this. We could have had a rectangular hole, couldn't we have? Something to think about. So I'm going to kind of echo the edges on this one. You already know how to do rectangular holes, so that's why I'm not doing that today. If you want to do it in your final project, you can. Alright, so at that angle, it's kind of hard for me to draw a line towards the middle, right? So basically I'm going to do it like I did with these, with shading. I'm going to pretend this back wall is here, and I'm going to shade real dark here, and I'm just going to lighten up as I get out to the edge. That's pretty much it. Now if I wanted to, I could come in and do a little hatching. Cool. If you want to do one on the bottom, it's a little different. I'm going to start with this side, but this end and this end are going to connect to that. And remember, you don't need to go any further than the edge. Chop it off. Now, this is not quite parallel to that. It should be. I'm gonna bring that out a little bit just because it bothers me. Bring it back. All right. So this space over here, it's going to be less over here because everything gets smaller as it gets further away. There we go. Get rid of what we don't need. So now I got a window. I want to make it a hole. I can bring it up a little bit. I'm going to kick out from the vanishing point, take this dot that way. And this one is going to follow the edge of the hole. See how that works? Now, something to consider, if this is at this angle, this back corner is also going to be at that angle. So if I want to be extra, I can line it up with that corner, and that's that back wall back there, right? So, since the light's coming this way, and I've got it really dark there, I want this shading consistent with that, right? If I wanted to, I could make this super dark over here. Start out light and see what it looks like. I think it needs to be dark all the way though. Now if you're building a city and you had lamps and stuff like that in there, you wouldn't need the shade. I'm kind of experimenting here. I haven't done a lot of interiors on the triangles. Looks pretty decent. Alright, let's try another one here. once again, it'd be darker in here. They're not here for the most part. Kind of draws you in. And we're going up and down because that's what shape that is. You're more than welcome to Google on YouTube or look stuff up on YouTube on how to do triangles in 1-point perspective. See how they do it. So this time I'm going to put a hole on top and decide how wide it is. Sorry, I guess I need to start this way. Connect it to the VP. So you can see how you do windshields for spaceships and stuff like that. Once again, since this is further away, this space right here should be smaller down here because it gets smaller as it gets to the vanishing point, just like these do. So I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. Echo that edge, boom, got another hole. You've got some leeway with what angle you bring in. I'm going to kick out, I'm going to try doing this one straight down. And then I'm going to kick out, but line up with the vanishing point. And then I'm going to echo this over here. Sorry about bumping the camera. Oh, that's off. Let me get rid of that. It's going to be more like that. Wow. Time to sharpen the pencil. Good thing I got one already sharpened. There we go. That's what I was trying to get. If you need to, you can come back and reinforce that outer line. Ooh, I'm losing my game here today, folks. There we go. Alright, so shadow in here. Keep in mind, there would be a line here. Right, because that's the bottom of this triangle. And you could keep this all nice and dark. And you could try, see what it looks like with a lighter side. I think it's going to look better just to go all the way through. Alright, kiddos, I have thrown a lot at you today, so that's why I'm only getting you to do the bottom two. So I'll do one more triangle down here and let you do the holes on your own. And I'm going to switch it up. Make a big, long, skinny triangle, just for variety's sake. And for the projects, you can probably get away with mostly doing rectangles, but this is if you want to level up. If you've ever seen a prism, this is pretty much what we're making. Right, so let's go to the angles. So I could cheat and just draw over here. So these are parallel. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat. Now I can't do that over here, can I? So I have to slide it out until it hits. Oop. Right about there. little bit further. There we go. Get rid of what I don't need. So for the rest of the assignment, hole here, hole on the side, shade it. Over here, hole in the front. And you can put a hole on either side, your call, shade it up. Hit me up with a comment or an email if you need any help. Holla.